Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game on Tabletop Simulator, doing, was it Dark Matter with some Toho characters. Alright, so first things first, we do actually have some stuff we haven't done before, which is the desynchronization, because Yomu only has 2 memories. Yeah, there was not much we can do about that. Alright, an overturned school bus gathers dust on the school grounds. As you examine the vandalized windows, you notice a glimpse of your own reflection. However, you no longer recognize the person looking back at you. The frame, the distinct facial features, they all seem so familiar to you, yet you know this is not your body. You stare into the glass in disbelief. The face of your reflection morphs into a blank, pale mask with no mouth, no nose, or eyes. The virtual reality no longer recognizes your residual self-image anymore. The mental projection of your digital self has decayed into nothingness. Add desync weakness to your deck. This does not count towards deck size. So, desync. So, it's a madness. When you draw it, you have to either, if your deck has 5 or more cards in it, you have to shuffle it back in your deck or discard it. Or you can pick the first option, which is you take a mental trauma, get a memory, and then you exile it. I'm probably going to go ahead and take the first option. Not only will it get rid of it and get me a memory, but it'll put us in a situation where both sides have mental trauma, which means Heir to Carcosa will actually trigger and start giving Yomu extra XP. Now, will I get punished for that? We'll see, because having 1 mental trauma will mean I have only 5 sanity to play around with, but it is what it is. Now, I believe it's okay. I don't think we immediately get the horror. If you get trauma, the effects of trauma only trigger at the start of a session, so we don't need to worry about it once we trigger it, but we'll have to worry about it from the future. All right. Besides all of that, our first scenario was very, very messy with a lot of. Well, we had a lot of Elder Signs and auto fails, but the auto fails were a lot more painful. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So we got to choose a random Act 1. There you go. Got a random act deck. I believe all the other ones are the same. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. I'm going to just set that aside. No one's been affected with the cyber virus, so we don't need to worry about any of this, thankfully. Alright, I think that's everything. This is the one where we have to play like musical locations and deal with a clown. Anyway, skulls are minus X, where X is half your memories rounded down. In this case, it's 1 for Yomu and 3 for Ran. Cultist is minus 2 if you fail and you have a hidden card in your hand, you'll take a horror. And then the tablet token, which we don't have because we spent a lot of time ensuring we didn't get it, would be reveal another token and you double that modifier, which can be pretty rough. So for Ran, we do technically have some minus 3s we have to worry about. And there are 2 skulls in the bag. So something to be aware of. Besides all of that, let's go ahead and shuffle the encounter deck. I forgot to reset this from last time. Okay. And then Figment of Your Imagination, K2PS187. Virtual Dreamscape is strikingly realistic. You feel the tingle of each hair and smell the worms in the ground below you. All sensations are amplified by direct stimulation of the sensor motor cortex, and this world is difficult to distinguish between the simulated and the hallucinated. Each location is connected to a location adjacent. For Doom to advance, I'm also not sure how you're able to smell worms. Public School 187 version 3. You approach the virtual school and pull open the double doors, only to reveal a solid brick wall behind it. The simulation appears to have been tinkered with. You will need to find another way inside. Locations cannot be switched with each other. After an investigator reveals the entrance hall, immediately advance. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put a break here and BRB. Okay, we're back at it. Let's do this. For Yomu's Stick to the Plan, I have Dodge, Emergency Cash, and Ever Vigilant level 1. And we'll see how things go. Draw. All right. Already got our segment of onyxes going. We have both Mr. Rook and Chen as starting things. That's great. Let's swap out the practice cards. Okay. We're not as bulky. Well, actually, we're plenty bulky. We have people that can actually soak for us. So yeah, plenty to work with here. I think the plan will probably be to bring out Mr. Rook first, and then purposely trigger our weakness, and then bring out Chen. That'll probably be the best way to handle this. All right, shuffle this one more time, and then shuffle you, and then I need to reset all this. Yeah, that's all correct. Okay, deal to orange. All right, got our B Cop level 2. Our other one is level 0. We also have both our exclusive swords. Gotta take initiative and a vicious blow. Let's go ahead and tag out these for now. That's what I was hoping for. Cool. That's a great start. I definitely look forward to upgrading my stand together so I can draw into my weakness and lose all my money. All right. So Maya is here. It's just at the school grounds. Choose and discard 3 cards from your hand, disengage from each enemy, and move to any connecting location. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. Let's see. Flip this over. Okay, that's how it works. While investigating this location, gets +1 shroud for each of your clues. Got it. All right. Let's go ahead and start with Yomu. So first things first, we'll go ahead and do stand together. Gain 2 resources for both characters. Next, I will go ahead and pop a Ever Vigilant. We'll spend 3 to get out Beat Cop. We'll spend 1 to get out we'll spend 2 to get out Rokanken, and then we'll spend 1 to go ahead and get out Well Connected. We'll see if this actually becomes anything useful in the future. Didn't exactly want to bring out both my weapons and then lose everything. All right, and then last, I'm going to go ahead and just investigate 2 to 1. I'm not expecting much from this, but it could be something. Sure enough, it's nothing. Okay, we go to Ran. Ran's going to go ahead and spend 3 to get out Mr. Rook. We'll use one of the secrets to search top 9. Get our nihilism right off the bat. A lot of good options here, actually. Could go straight for segments of Onyx if we really wanted to. There's not really much else to play around with. I also just really want money. Let's grab a segment of Onyx. Okay. Next, we'll go ahead and investigate. We'll spend 1 to do Practice Makes Perfect, search top 9. We'll pick the deduction. This puts us at 7 to 1. I swear to God if I got an auto fail. Thank you. Goes in my hand. We get 3 clues here. And now our difficulty is like 5 to what? 5 to 4? Which is fine. Last action, I'm just going to go ahead and do a... Oh, we do get a secret, of course, for our thing. Let's do it this way. We'll make a copy. There we go. All right, so yeah, we'll just go 5 to 4, I think. And if we fail, we fail. I don't have any hidden cards in my hand. Great start. Great start. I'm already getting... I have yet to get a -1 or lower, which is half the bag. So good start. All right. Enemy phase upkeep. Okay, Mythos. First doom, we've already shuffled. Put, okay, this is the one. Put Future Evils next to the agenda deck. Okay, and then over here. Put this card into your threat area. After your location is switched with another location, take 1 damage, and then you can get rid of stuff. Got it. Good luck getting rid of that. All right, investigation phase. So I'm going to start with Yomu. First things first, we're going to spend 2 actions to get rid of Nihilism. And last action, we'll go ahead and investigate, since she doesn't have any clues to worry about. That's a pass, actually, because half our memories is 1. So she does get that last clue. All right, go ahead and put a lightning bolt if there's no clues on it, so we can put the shimmer of whatchamacallit down here. Cannot enter except through the lightning bolt ability on Maya. So we have to go and choose to discard 3 cards from our hand to actually make things happen. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and go to Ran. Ran, we're going to go ahead and search your top 9 and see if we can trigger a bunch of nonsense. Sure enough, we trigger some nonsense. We'll end up taking a horror for this. These go away. And we'll go ahead and take this, put this in our hand. I'll go ahead and spend the 3. Oh, I'm missing a... I need to get Pendant of the Queen. Yeah, this is the non-mutated version. Okay. So that was all lightning bolts. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. Did I shuffle? 1 moment. I, in fact, did not shuffle. Okay, Ion Chart. About to have to make some hard decisions here. I'm going to go ahead and draw another card. All right. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. Okay. So the issue right now is just we don't have the... we don't have the... I don't want to discard the cards I have. Any empty location? Okay, it's only when it switches. Okay, that's fine. I was about to freak out because I was like, that would trigger. Alright, add Grim feature to any investigator's threat area. When an actor agenda advances, take 1 damage and 1 horror, then test agility 3. If you succeed, you can get rid of it. Cool. You can have it for now. All right. Investigation phase. Any investigators at any location may trigger this ability. Yep. Okay, how much health does this guy have? 2? Okay. Let's go ahead and draw a card. And then we're going to go ahead and lightning bolt. Get rid of these 3 cards. And move to here, which will put me engaged with you. And then we trigger this. Okay, scrambled minds. It doesn't take long for you to realize that something is horribly wrong. The interior is entangled in an impossible maze of hallways spurting off into every direction. The school's simulation has been completely corrupted. It will be impossible to find the children without first restoring the layout, one segment of code at a time. Put the set-aside undefined room locations into play around the entrance hall and according to the following schematics. Okay, so we get to do this nonsense. Thank you for doing that for me. That is not... wait, that was version 3, right? Okay, that is indeed correct. Cool. All right, so the layout of the building has psychoanalysis. The layout of the building has been scrambled into an impossible labyrinth. You will first need to restore the school to its former self before finding the children. Lightning bolts spend 2 clues as a group, switch 2 adjacent locations with each other. And we essentially just have to make it into that formation to progress. I believe you don't have to be on those locations. They just have to be wherever. Though there is benefits for letting it happen. All right. I remember this being kind of a pain. All right, well, we'll deal with that later. First things first, we need to murder somebody. We'll attack with Rokonken. This will be 8-2. We succeed. And I will exhaust to do an extra damage to kill it. All right. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and just draw a card. Okay, virtual access key. We can work with that. Okay, over here with Ran. Let's start with spending 2 to go ahead and get out Ion. Actually, do you have actions left? No, you don't. Okay. I'll go ahead and bring out an Ion chart. And then we'll go ahead and move. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the Ion chart to investigate. We'll go ahead and commit a deduction. So we're 7-2. We succeed by a bunch. We get 3 clues. And we get a secret. All right. Also, we have the clues from before, don't we? Yeah, I didn't say to lose any of our clues. Cool. Yeah, I guess we got a little bit of a head start to play around with. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use Mr. Rook and use the secret Rangot and search top 9. Let's grab the burning the midnight oil because we need money. All right. And so right now we have 7 clues. So if we want to, we can start doing this nonsense now. I think we should. We'll go ahead and get rid of one of Yomo's clues and one of Rand's clues and swap these 2 locations. Alright, we'll go ahead and spend another 2 clues. Swap these 2 locations. Yep. And then I will spend 2 more clues to swap these 2 locations. So the plus is where it needs to be. And we just need to get 3 more clues to get the yellow all the way across. And that'll be enough to do what we need to do. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use Pin of the Queen to grab this clue. Actually, you know what? Don't even do that yet. I'm going to move first. So this location's never going to swap. Neither is that one. Let's go to the right first then. Actually, triangles or... Yeah, we'll go this way first. So we'll move here, get the biology lab. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and do it, and we'll just grab the clue from this location with the Pin of the Queen. And then I'll use those 2 clues to start working on this. So these 2 locations are going to get swapped. And now we just need 2 more clues, and that'll be enough to get our requirements done. All right, that is everybody. Upkeep. Okay, Pathfinder's good. So is the Wolf Mask, Mythos, 3rd Doom. Any empty location, we'll put you over there. When you successfully evade an enemy. Okay, that's doable. This guy only hits for what, 1 damage? Okay. That is doable. All right. And as long as I don't swap this guy's location, everything else is fine. Okay. Investigation phase. I'm going to start with Ran. I'm going to go ahead and do Burn in the Midnight Oil to get 2 resources and investigate this location, 5 to 2. We succeed, we get 1 clue. We'll go ahead and get a secret and immediately use it on Mr. Rook here to search top 9. Let's grab the practice makes perfect. No, I need money. Get money. All right. So we got the clue here, did our thing here. We'll go ahead and ion chart and investigate this location again. 5 to 2, succeeded. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and spin 3 to get out Pathfinder. Last action, I'm going to go ahead and use Emergency Cash to get 3 resources. And then we will Pathfind up to here. Okay. And we'll go ahead and do Pin of the Queen to grab this clue. Okay. All right. Getting there, little by little. Let's go to Yomu. I think our primary focus is to go ahead and try to deal with this nonsense. So we'll move here. Okay, this is the... Okay, so this is the one with the victory on it. All right, get engaged by you. I'm going to go ahead and evade 3-0. We pass. We'll trigger this. And we get attacked instead and take a damage. And then we'll swing at this guy with Rokonkin. And exhaust it to kill it. Okay, getting there. We could have dodged the attack, but honestly, that's the least of our... We have bigger things that we'll need to dodge in the future. Alright. So I do have the means to advance. I'm going to go ahead and wait until next round, though. Because I don't remember if there's anything I need to worry about. Upkeep. Upkeep. Got a lot of money, but I haven't triggered my thing yet. We do have enough money to actually get a bonus from Well Connected, so we got that going for us. Alright, this will advance. This stays with the agenda deck, unfortunately. I do take 1-in-1 from this, and then I have to do an Agility 3 test. I'm going to go ahead and commit Plan of Action. This is before my first action, so this will be 5-3, and I fail on skulls. Well, good luck. We pass. Goodbye, you. Alright. Night Terror. You hear a giggling laughter that echoes through the virtual landscape. Footsteps shuffles from somewhere nearby, growing steadily louder. A nightmarish fiend creeps out of the shadows, standing 7 feet tall, with a white-painted face, red-ringed eyes, and unnatural yellow curly hair. The thing almost looks like a clown, but no real clown would ever wear the tattered, moldy yellow and black costume it's garbed in. No clown's eyes would ever be filled with such crazed menace. It smiles unnaturally wide, showing row upon row of sharp triangular teeth. Upon its head is an old-fashioned doctor's round reflector. Around its neck hangs a stethoscope. It raises its finger, and you can see that each finger ends in a long, old-fashioned hypodermic needle. This can only be every child's worst nightmare, and you instantly, almost instinctively know that what this creature must be. This is the Boogeyman. Alright, this is Act 2, so we spawn him at the entrance hall. Exhausted. And yeah, you can't attack him, damage him, or evade him, and he hits for horror. And the encounter discard pile. Okay, so everything from this. Cool, I get to draw that hidden card again. Alright, it's haha, aha, don't you want to play with me? Alright, at the start of the enemy phase of the Boogeyman is in the same location as an avatar asset, story asset, place 1 doom on that story asset. Okay. Shuffle that, we're good to go. Let's draw. Another one of these. Boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Do I want to just prevent that? I mean, as long as I don't force a doom to get placed, maybe we could be okay. This is the one where you discover clues. Cool. Getting rid of this one is going to be slightly more annoying, but it's doable. Alright, investigation phase. When an investigator would discover any amount of clues from your location, place one of their clues on that location instead. So, from your location. So I think I can long distance this. When an investigator would discover any amount of clues from your location. So if I do pin to the queen, for example, and try to grab a clue from here and instead place a clue on here, that should get rid of this. And then this will get to there. These will get set back in here. Okay. Either way, let's go ahead and continue. I'll start with Yomu. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 to get out a wolf mask. Then I'm going to spend 2 to get out a virtual access key. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to get rid of this non-Euclidean geometry nonsense. We're 5 to 3 with the wolf mask. We pass, we get rid of it. Cool. All right. Ran, I'm going to go ahead and use your last 2 clues to swap these locations. Yep. Okay, we meet the requirements. We'll go ahead and advance. Just a bad dream. When the school simulation has finally been restored, a choir of children's voices cry out, insane with terror, from the school's intercom system. What did you do? We scrambled the school so the boogeyman couldn't find us. It's coming to eat us. You realize now that the corruption of the school and the boogeyman itself are not an outside influence. They are the manifestation of the children's insanity, the personification of their fears. What could have driven them to the edge of sanity? Regardless, if you can convince them that the monster stems from their own simulated imagination, perhaps you can save them before they are completely consumed by terror. If this is when you would spawn the boogeyman, he would actually be unexhausted in this case. Reveal all unrevealed locations. So we now know about these places. And then randomly attach a set-aside avatar story asset to classroom K2, library, gymnasium, and biology lab. Attach that avatar story. Okay. So let's grab ourselves some avatars. Oops. I'll grab you. I'm just going to hit shuffle and then go. All right. So in order, classroom K2. Library. Gymnasium. Biology. Okay, none of them are on top of the boogeyman, so we're good on that front. You must help the children overcome their nightmare before they are consumed by it. Now that you are familiar with the architecture of the school, perhaps you can modify it to your advantage. Again, you can do the swapping, save as many children as you can. Obviously, if you save all of them, you get the best version of a very good thing. That'll make the rest of the mechanics in the game a lot easier. Okay. So we got all that. Okay. So you have to get above or below to make all of this happen. All right. So I think the plan here All right, let's go ahead and use our ion chart to investigate this location. We're 5 to 3. We pass. Get a clue. We'll get our secret and immediately use it for Mr. Rook. Search top 9. All right. Feels like at this point I might as well just go for the next segment of Onyx. Though a practice make perfect would also be very helpful. Let's do practice makes perfect. We'll see how this plays. We'll pathfind move to here. Then we'll regular move to here. And then we're going to go ahead and investigate here. Spending 1 to do practice makes perfect. Search top 9. Okay, deduction. All right, I'm due for an auto fail. I'm hoping that's not the case though. Also, we can use this location to... Oh, okay, I see what we have to do to make this work. You have to get K2 all the way down to entrance hall, where entrance hall used to be, and that'll get you some more memories. Okay, boom. Okay, we got enough to get 3 clues here. Perfect. Cool. So we got 3 clues. This goes in our hand. This goes away. It's a lightning bolt to do this. So we'll go ahead and spend 2 clues to swap these locations. Yeah, moved with it. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do a 5 to 2 test because Tilde is above the boogeyman. We succeed. Reintegrated. You persuade the anxious girl that the monster is a simple artificial intelligence, can easily be outwitted and avoided. She observes the boogeyman's movements and finally nods in agreement. You both watch as the tattered clown's head deflates like a balloon, and its voice garbles into gibberish. The girl thanks you for your help. My name is Tilde. I'm in charge of the ship's digital mainframe and cybersecurity. I've had a headache for a while, but now I'm feeling much better. She carefully navigates around the boogeyman and exits the school building. And we get to place a horror on the guy. And this gets added to the victory display. So we got all that going for us. Okay. So next will probably be Alma, if we can make that happen. Well, actually, no, we'll need to get the K2 taken care of, I think. And we might need to get someone to go and tank the clown for a bit, which is not the end of the world. That is everybody. Enemy phase, nothing going on there. Upkeep, boogeyman is now active. Cool, got ourselves a segment of Onyx without having to look for it. Backpack, always nice. Mythos, first doom. Secret, at the end of the enemy phase, if the boogeyman is at your location or an adjacent location, search your discard pile for a weakness and draw it, then discard this card. I'm okay with this. I'll just pick nihilism or something. Alright, and then for you, into your threat area. At the end of your turn, if you're not at the boogeyman's location, discard Come Closer, test willpower 3. If you fail, move 1 location towards the boogeyman. Want a balloon. Cool. Alright, investigation phase. Let's start with Ran. I'm just wondering how I want to do this. I mean, honestly, probably the easiest thing would be to just get these guys. We only have a finite number of clues. I mean, we can get more clues using the library. but that can be kind of messy too. So I could try to do the willpower check. And then start just tanking the boogeyman. That might be what we have to do, just so we can buy ourselves some time. Okay. Because we only have, like I said, we only have so many swaps that we can actually afford to do at the moment. Let's go ahead and investigate this location, 5 to 3. We'll commit perception, go 7 to 3. We succeed, we draw a card. And then we'll get a secret, which I'm going to go ahead and hold on to for right now. All right, then we will pathfind over. And then we'll spend 2 clues to go ahead and swap. Ooh, actually, that's the problem. Okay, we're not pathfinding over. We'll swap these 2 locations. Why is there more than one of these? There should only be one. Not sure what happened there, but okay. So this will move us down to here. Okay, so I investigated. I did the lightning bolt swap. I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to get out a second ion chart. And I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to get out Chen. Yeah, this is going to end up forcing me to do the effect, which is fine. Yeah, the issue is this: if I want to get the memories, it's gonna take me an extra round of work. It's essentially the problem. Okay, let's go ahead and this is at the end of the enemy phase. So yeah, I'll go ahead and use Mr. Rook now. Search top 9. And honestly, the segment of Onyx would be fantastic. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. And then otherwise, we're just going to sit here for a round. All right, Yomu. All right, Yomu, I want you to go ahead and spend 1 to get out backpack, search top 12 for things and stuff. All right. And then we're going to move and activate the thing. So each investigator at this location adds 1 tally mark to their memories. Skulls are now 4s on Ran, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll put a horror on this just to show that we've activated it. My turn will end. I'll do a 2 to 3 test. I fail it, and that will make me move 1 location towards Boogeyman. Okay. Enemy phase, I'm going to get smacked by Boogeyman. I will go ahead and spend one to dodge this one. Alright, and then at the end of the enemy phase, I will have to discard this and grab a weakness. I will grab this Nihilism. Okay, and then upkeep. Alright, so looking at what we have here. This is an agility test, that's a willpower test, and that's a combat test. Okay. So upkeep. Oh my god, thank you. Alright, that'll make my life a little bit easier. Alright, Mythos. Second Doom. One second. Yeah, I think we're fine. I'm pretty sure, because the place Doom step on the Mythos phase, I'm pretty sure is not a card placing the Doom. Alright, bad cards. Decoherence. Test Agility 6. Decrease the difficulty for each of your memories. If you fail, you must either take 2 horror or lose 2 resources. I have 8 memories, so this is a 3 to 0 test. We're good. You can have it this time. Alright, investigation phase. Okie dokie. Alright. We're going to we're going to go ahead and pathfind over to here. We'll go ahead and investigate this location using a deduction. This will put us at 7 to 2. We take 1 and 1. That hurt a lot. I'll go ahead and use a secret here to investigate again. 5 to 2. That's actually a fail because of the skull. Cool. Cool. I'm doing great. Hey, we passed 1. I get a clue. Alright, I am going to go ahead and use Mr. Rook to search for the secret we just got. And we're going to grab this Burning the Midnight Oil. Yeah, that's fine. Get those clues. I'm going to go ahead and investigate with Burning the Midnight Oil. Get 2 resources. Search again. Alright, that is a pass. We get 1 more clue. I'm going to go ahead and use those 2 clues. To swap you. I'm also going to go ahead and spin 3 to get out the Segment of Onyx again. And use that to get the clue off of this location. And get that ready. Yomu! Alright, I am going to take the attack opportunity. I'll use the virtual access key to take the soak one of the horrors. And I'll take the other on Beat Cop. And then I will go ahead and do a 6 to 2 test. And take care of you. You You calm down the boy hiding under the desk and manage to convince him that the boogeyman is no match for your combined strength and confidence. He stands up and yells towards the fiendish monstrosity, "We're not scared of you. You're just a clown." The abomination cries out in pain as its hypodermic claws shrink and morph into limp red gloves. The boy introduces himself as David. "I'm in charge of the engines and the main power. I've been feeling awfully sick lately, but thank goodness my stomach finally stopped hurting. You tell David to wait for you outside the school," and he quickly runs off. We already added the thing for that. We're good to go on that front. It is an action to do this, by the way, so I am down to 1 action remaining. And as much as I would love to get William in position and just solve this problem right here and now, I'm going to go ahead and just move back and start getting smacked by Boogeyman some more. Yep. It's just going to be how this is going to be done for now. All right. Enemy phase. We get hit for 2 horror. I'll take the 2 horror. Upkeep. Mythos. 3rd doom. Okay. Discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until 2 virtual encounter cards are discarded. Choose and draw 1 of them. Okay. These 2. Choose and draw 1 of the discarded virtual treachery cards. If it's a treachery, resolve the revelation effect additional time. If it's an enemy, place this card under it as a swarm. We'll do decoherence. All right, so we have to do this twice. It is 3 to 3. And there's not really much I can do about it. So we'll go 3 to 3. We fail. I'll lose 2 resources. And then I'll do it again. And I passed. Okay. Investigation phase. Okay. Let's yeah, that stuff I'm not that big of a deal about. Okay. Let's start with Ran. I'm going to go ahead and use Pin of the Queen. Discovered this clue. And we'll get a secret for our troubles. Alright. I'll go ahead and use Ion Chart and investigate this location. 5 to... Oh, it's 5 to 4 now. We'll hold off on that then. I'll go ahead and use Mr. Rook and search top 9. Or the entire deck in this case. Let's go ahead and get an emergency cache. I was thinking about the perception, but I can just get the clue next round and be fine. Okay. Alright, so it does slow me down though. I was actually planning on using both batches of clues at this point. Let's pathfind move to here. And then we will spend 2 to go ahead and swap these locations. Like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate William. So I'm 3 to 2. We'll go 6 to 2 with a curse. We pass. You catch up with the boy that is frantically running around and calm him down by convincing him that the boogeyman will never actually reach him, as it only means to scare him. When the nightmare stops dead in its tracks in front of you, the boy finally sighs in relief. Without the sustenance of the child's fear, the creature's wicked arms and legs shrink to a more comprehensible size. You can call me Will. I'm in charge of the ship's navigation systems and docking procedures. You tell him to wait for you outside, and he complies without hesitation. Okay. Alright, this actually works out good. What we can do is move over to here, then investigate. So this will be 5 to 2 again. So I only fail on skulls and auto-fail, like that one. At this point, go ahead and kill off Mr. Rook. Alright, investigate again. 5 to whatever. We passed. And we get this clue. Okay, we've gotten all the clues. And that took more actions than I care to do, but that is what it is. Okay. So what I can do now is I can swap these 2 locations. Like so. All right. And then after that, I can just kind of do whatever. Okay. Yomu. If only we had a way to swap some locations without actually having to swap them. Also, I have not been keeping track of this entrance hall thing. I probably could have triggered it at least once. It is what it is, though. Alright, I'm going to have Rand just tank a hit. So, Yomu, I'm going to tank a hit with you first. Take a horror. Go down to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate this location and heal a horror just in case. And then we'll go ahead and move into position here for the future. Alright, enemy phase. I'm going to get hit for 2. Upkeep. Upkeep. And then spawns on you. And then add a doom for this location from you. Sure, that's fine. Okay, that is fine. All right, investigation phase. So I believe we have this. Assuming I don't draw yet another auto fail. So let's give it a shot. I'll commit a take the initiative and become 5-2. And I only have 3 memories, so that is a success. With patience and care, you reassure Alma and persuade her to open her eyes and carefully scrutinize the simulated nightmare. Through her fingers, she finally notices the subtle discrepancies that can only be observed from specific angles, thus breaking the illusion of the dreadful monster. Without the sustenance of Alma's fear, the boogeyman's 1,000 yellow teeth fall out of its gaping maw and shatter across the ceramic floor. Thanks for helping us. I'm Alma, and I'm charge of environmental controls on the ship. It's really cold. I need a jacket. The little girl strolls out of the school without fear. Place 1 horror. It now has been defeated. And then we add this to the victory display. Now, let's see. At the start of the enemy phase, is it avatar? Okay, yeah, it didn't have to. That never triggered. And nothing else seems to matter. We never forced Doom to get placed on anything. So future evils never triggered. And even if it did, we still had plenty of time. So it still worked out pretty well. All right. So with all that said and done, we also got every clue. Okay, so if the boogeyman is defeated, you advance. Nothing to fear. Without fear and terror of its victims' minds to prey on, the horrific digital monstrosity deflates like a balloon and dissipates into the simulation. Resolution 3. Okay, Resolution 3. We've done this all before. Fully restored the sanity of K2 PS187. And we get the 100% functionality version. All right. We'll give it to Rand for now. Since I have the space for her. All right, no reminiscence. We got rid of the one we did draw. And we get Victory X. Unfortunately, we did not draw. Our Phasmophobia was on the bottom, Paranoia was 5th from the bottom, and our Desync was 6th from the bottom. That's crazy. I mean, I actually wanted to get the Desync just so I can get the memory and the trauma so I can get more XP out of this, but it is what it is. Victory X. Now, I don't believe there's anything we need to worry about for the mission briefing. Yeah, I think so. I'm not going to read the Heir to Carcosa because no. All right, so 7 XP. So we get 8 XP on Rand because of the great work, and then 9 for Karen Zobel. So 8 and 9. I do like this custom scenario. It's definitely a little on the easier side, but it also just gives you a lot of XP, which just lets you have some fun with the game as far as like progression is concerned. So, good times. That being said, we were still, if it had gone any longer, it probably would have been a problem because we didn't really have an answer for the boogeyman besides just running up and face tanking him just to keep them away from the avatars. And 2 horror around definitely adds up. I think if I had taken some time to get some money and get out Breath of the Sleeper and then put like a spectral shield on like on Yomu or whatever, I think I could have tanked it probably indefinitely. But at that point, we were also starting to spawn these guys. And those guys aren't fun. I actually don't even recall ever fighting these guys. Like this one's actually pretty fast to do as long as you know how to do swap puzzles. Which, for swap puzzles, this one's one of the easier ones. Oh, I guess technically we do take 1 damage and 1 horror from advancing this. We can just take the horror and then put a damage on that, and that solves that problem. Actually, I could have just soaked the horror. So there's that. Okay, let me spin XP and I'll BRB. All right, 8 experience for Ran, because it was 7 plus 1 for the great work. Just making sure I didn't miss anything here. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. I don't think there was any victory in here, by the way. You can potentially have a chance of getting the cyber virus, I guess, if you hadn't done it already. So yeah, we didn't actually miss anything, which is great. All right, so with 8 experience, at this point I decided to go ahead and just grab the 2 Studiouses, so I start with an additional 2 cards in my hand. And then I actually decided to go ahead, even though we do get some economy from K2 PS187 at 100% functionality, I definitely feel like I need a lot of money just so I can keep cycling those pinches as a queen. So I went ahead and upgraded the Immersive Cache. It's not giving us any extra money, but it is giving us card draw. So that's 8 experience exactly. And we're good to go on that front. For Yomu, she has 9 experience because Karen's Obel. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade Ever Vigilant 1 to 4, which will cost us 3. Our remaining level 0 B cop will go to level 2, so that brings us up to 5 XP. And then for our last 4, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade both the Switchblade level 0s to the level 2 versions. This is, in addition to the extra combat symbol for committing, the big thing is it provides +2 combat for attacking, which makes it a lot easier to trigger that succeed by 2 or more. What's really nice about Switchblade, of course, is it's fast. And that's very useful, especially with Yomu's weakness, because if she ends up discarding all of her weapons and she's engaged with enemies, she kind of needs an answer for that. I did forget to get Charisma, but that's okay. Or not Charisma. I did forget to get Relic Hunter, but that's okay. We'll make do. There's a lot of things I still want to purchase with Yomu, but I'm pretty sure depending on how much XP we get on the next one, we might be able to get everything else I care about. The big things I do want to get is eventually sound support. That'll make it so I don't really need to rely on Soothing Melody at all. Though I wouldn't mind upgrading the mirror as well. So, and of course there's the upgrading the Stand Togethers, which is rather expensive, but it is what it is. We might be okay with just doing Stand Together level 0 for now, and just not worry about card draw, since card drawing is actually kind of dangerous for Yomu, since she can just lose all of our money. So, yeah. Upgraded Switchblades. The only weapons I still have that need to be upgraded are the Survival Knives, which will definitely be very useful, since they'll be able to trigger before I get hit, and potentially kill a lot of things, because I can chain it off of Yomu's ability. Speaking of Yomu's ability, we didn't trigger it a single time. Oh, also, we did draw at least 1 autofail. I know we drew at least 1 autofail. I don't remember if we drew another one. We didn't draw any Elder Signs at all, so this one was pretty... To be fair, it is also very short and sweet. We didn't have to go back and forth a lot. We didn't have to take a lot of extra tests or anything like that. So it is what it is. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am Theodore Prestidor. This was Arkham Horror the Card Game, doing Dark Matter for the second time with a bunch of Toho characters, Ran Yakumo and Yomu Kambaku. See you guys later.